Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today we are going to work on an order for a customer. This is a large cylinder vase. When I tell you large, it's really large. Like the opening of the vase is from the tips of my finger to the bottom of my hand. So it's really a very large opening. Now this is a low compact arrangement and it's a $150 arrangement. I'm going to start out by adding a grid to the top of the vase. Now the reason I'm doing that is because the mouth is so large, I am afraid that our flowers are not going to stand up in this container. So I'm going to try my best I'm just going to grab just a green tape. I was trying to get it loose, but it was hard. So I'm going to just take my green tape and I am just going to tape a grid across this vase. Now, a grid is just going to be something that holds those flowers in place so that when Jason goes out on delivery and delivers this arrangement, it's not going to go anywhere. We're not going to have to worry about the flowers toppling out. It's just going to hold all those flowers right in place. Now you can use any type of tape. If you are at home and you don't have like a florist tape like I have here, you can absolutely use just a Scotch tape. It's going to do the same thing. And it's a clear tape, so it's actually going to look a little better than my green tape. So I did stripes across the top, and now I'm going to come right back across that tape just to make little squares for those flowers to stick into. Now, instead of using tape, you could use for your armature a frog, like a little pincushion frog. You could use different kinds of grasses where you just took those and kind of wadded them into a ball and tucked those into the bottom of the vase. You could even use curly willow, and when it's green it's really very pliable and it would very easily make an armature, but I don't have any of those things on hand today, so we're just taping us a grid across the top. Next, what we're going to do is come in with some greenery. I'm going to start with a little bit of seeded eucalyptus. So I started the video and I left all the flowers in the other room. So I had to stop the video and go pick those up. Real life, right? I'm going to take some seeded eucalyptus, strip off any of the leaves that are below, that might fall below the water line. And I'm just tucking that seeded eucalyptus right into this container. I'm just going to go all the way around. And just tuck that right into that grid. I'm going to save some for the end of the arrangement. There we go. So there's our pretty seeded eucalyptus. Next we will come in with our hydrangeas. So I have some mini green hydrangeas. I'm going to pull these leaves off and remove some of those leaves, not all of them, but just some of them. Taking my floral knife, cutting that stem at an angle. Now often you will see me dip them in quick dip, and I don't happen to have it with me today, so these have been well processed. I am not concerned with their quality. But I am removing some of those leaves so that that water will go directly to the head of that flower. All right, so there's our pretty mini green hydrangeas, and I used 4 of those, so they're all the way around in that container. Next we'll come in with some Solidago aster. So yellow Solidago, so pretty, and it really works great for any filler or any arrangement. Take my floral knife, cut that stem at an angle, just tuck that Solidago right in. All right, so there's our pretty yellow Solidago. Next we will come in with some sunflowers. So this pretty arrangement has sunflowers in it. So this is an arrangement that's online on our website. So it has beautiful, happy yellow suns. So we will tuck those very happy flowers right down into our container. All right, so there's our sunflowers. Next we are going to come in with some roses. So these are a yellow rose with a red tip. I am going to take and remove any of the petals that don't look pretty. Pull some of that greenery off. Cut that stem at an angle and nestle that beautiful rose right down into the arrangement. Now again, we're going all the way around in this arrangement. So you see me turning my Lazy Susan and tucking those flowers all the way throughout. Now I'm not wiring these roses because I'm tucking them really deep down into this container, so I'm not concerned with their heads dipping. Look how pretty those roses are. Okay, next we will come in with some button mums. So we have some pretty yellow button mums. So buttons come in lots of colors. They come in white and green and yellows and purples. I think even in the fall they come in maybe some more autumn colors. So pretty and so long lasting. Now this one has a few little blooms that their little heads have broken. So I'm just taking and I am just cleaning up that stem, removing any of the broken blooms. Remove any of those leaves that don't look pretty. All right, there's our pretty yellow buttons. Next we will come in with some red Hypericum berries. So Hypericum berries are also called coffee berries. Such a pretty texture and just a fun addition to any arrangement, in my opinion. And so I'm going to take and strip off those bottom leaves, cut that stem, and nestle it right in. The wonderful part about having this grid is you can see how all of my flowers are staying right in place. I'm not having any issues with them moving. They're just staying right in place. Next we're going to come in with some beautiful Lisianthus. Lisianthus is one of my very favorites. It comes in lots of pretty colors. It comes in this pretty pale pink, comes in purples, in kind of a butter yellow, white's kind of a green color, but it is so beautiful. Now, Lisianthus takes a long time from seed to flower, like 9 months. It's like carrying a baby to have Lisianthus. And so I think that makes me appreciate it even more because it's not an easy bloom to grow. I have the sweetest friend. Her name is Mary, and Mary is a flower farmer here in our area. And Mary has made me appreciate the growth process of flowers because I had no idea. You know, when you don't grow your flowers, you don't know what it takes to have beautiful blooms. And Lisianthus is one of those flowers that it takes a good long time to have those beautiful blooms. Okay, so there's our pretty Lizzie all the way through. Next we will come in with some yellow Babe spray roses. Look how pretty those are. So often I will use an orange spray rose called Orange Babe, which I just think is so lovely. The yellow variety is just as pretty. It's just as pretty, and yellow happens to be my very favorite, so it works out really good. So I'm just taking those stems, I'm cutting them at an angle, and you can see I'm turning that arrangement and being sure to make sure that those flowers are all the way around in that container. Okay, we are going to use a couple of red Gerbera daisies. So we've got some pretty little red Gerberas. All right, to finish this beautiful arrangement, we are going to add some lilies. So we've got some pink oriental lilies. Beautiful pink blooms. Let me show you a quick trick on how to remove the pollen from your flower. So this is just a chenille stem or a pipe cleaner. I'm going to take it and I am just going to rub it right on the inside of that lily. Remove that little pollen using that chenille stem. And it will just pick that pollen up so you don't have to worry about it being stained. I'm going to take that knife, cut that stem at an angle, nestle that beautiful lily right there in the top. I'm going to take a second bloom, now the reason I know that it seems strange that I would put the largest bloom in last. But the reason I'm doing that is because this is the most fragile bloom that we're working with today. And so if I begin to stick those flowers right in, and then I put all the flowers around them, it's very likely that I'm going to break a bloom. So you want to always be really careful. Now when your lilies begin to open, there are going to be little stamens in your lilies. You want to pull those out because when they open up, they begin to stain your flowers. Not only will they stain the flower and cause them to be yellow, they will also stain your clothes and cause your clothes to be yellow. So anytime you're working with lilies, go ahead and remove the pollen from those lilies so that it doesn't get all over your clothes or all over the flower. Now I'm going to break this one off and tuck him in low. Now, if pollen gets on your clothes, it's not a huge deal. Here's the trick. Because there is a trick. If you wash those clothes, that pollen has oil and it's going to stain. It's going to stay in your clothes. The washing machine really is not going to take that oil out. So what you're going to do is take your pants or your shirt, whatever you got the pollen on, take it and lay it in the sunshine. The sunshine will absorb that pollen. It's magic. It is just magic. and it works. I promise it works. So I want you to try it the next time you come into contact with pollen and get it on your clothes. That sunshine will completely absorb it. To finish this arrangement, we're going to add a little bit of Rumex. Rumex is a type of seed. It is the seed of dock. Really, really pretty. We're going to just tuck a few little stems of that Rumex right into our arrangement. It kind of gives us some movement, and it is so pretty. Clean up my mess just a little bit. So the flowers that we used in this arrangement include those mini green hydrangeas. We used seeded eucalyptus as our as one of the foliages. Mini green hydrangeas. We used sunflowers. We use standard roses and spray roses, which are always so fun to use. We used lisianthus and button daisies. We used oriental lilies and solidago aster, hypericum berries, and Rumex as another foliage. But I think this arrangement is so bright and so perfect for a birthday. I think anybody would be pleased to have this beauty. And there is our finished arrangement. Guys, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions about how we do things here at Flowers by the Bunch, you can always ask. We would love to answer your questions. Do me a great big favor. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you have not subscribed to our channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you'll hit the bell, you'll get notifications for when we have a brand new video. Thanks, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you real soon.